Henri Shag, where have you been all this time? You see, I have been writing a 147-page long work about the most extreme railways in the world. You want to read the full thing in Slovakian? The link is in the description. Whenever there is a series, whether a TV series or a book series, that runs for a couple of seasons, there is one thing that haunts the long-term fans: inconsistencies. When a character is portrayed as a wise old man in the first season, you do not want to see him end up as a scared 10-year-old by season 8. Yet this unfortunately does happen, and in the Thomas the Tank Engine fandom, we have unfortunately had one character that ended up like this: Toby the Tram Engine. But yet, Toby's journey to becoming a scaredy, fragile engine by season 8 has not been one that can be explained as an inconsistency, rather one that can be explained as character development. A very interesting way of character development, yet character development nonetheless. So what made Toby who he is today? That is what this video is going to dive into. And, well, I have done the work and research for this video, and the only work I need from you is to please take 5 seconds before you leave and write a comment saying that this video sucked, or by the off chance that you liked it, praising it a little. Thank you. Let's begin. Now, Toby FOREVER stayed one type of character in the original Railway series, but in the TV series he started to deviate to his scaredy roots sometime around season 8 or so. So what happened in the TV series that did not happen in the Railway series? What made the two deviate? In both the TV series and the Railway series, Toby was introduced rather, I'd say it, in the beginning. In the Railway series, Toby was introduced in the book Toby the Tram Engine, which was the 7th book in the series. There, he was portrayed as a wise old grandpa who, even though life challenges him, found a way to push through. And as the Railway series progressed, this character portrayal of Toby never changed. He always remained wise, he always remained his jokeful, confident self, that when the situation was dire, he knew how to pull through, help others, or make a good laugh out of it. When the authors for the series changed, Reverend Wilbert Audrey was exchanged by his son Christopher, Toby's portrayal never really changed with it. Toby was in fact Christopher Audrey's most favorite character, and that meant that he would not change him. But in the TV series, there is just something else. Something else to Toby that changed the dude forever. And that comes in season 5. Season 5 is the season that was the first one to deviate from Railway series stories, writing 26 new and original episodes. And in these 26 new and original episodes, oh boy, the characters got challenged. There were the biggest crashes of the season, the biggest natural disasters and everything. And Toby had the worst of it. Welcome to the episode that changed Toby forever. The episode that was not in the Railway series, and therefore Toby never changed there. The episode, Toby and the Flood. Before we go more in depth of Toby's characteristics, let's just dive into this episode a little, alright? Bear with me here. So we are presented with the fact that the island has been flooded by rains for quite some time, and that the old dam on Toby's old reopened branch line has been overflowing. Toby is sent up there to go and inspect it, only to see the dam crack right under his wheels. Toby, of course, gets scared. And a lot of people, I have seen a lot of people point out that, well, Toby is a wise old man, he should not get scared. Well, I have a question for you. Imagine that you were the one standing on the dam, knowing very well that if it collapses, you're as good as dead. Would you not be scared? It's nothing to do with the fact that Toby is over 50 or 60 years old in this episode. No. Even if you are 100 and even if you're 5, you will get scared at that point. So this is nothing out of the ordinary. This is just normal character stuff for Toby. The old Toby that we know here has just been challenged with an extremely severe condition. But then comes the part that changes everything. This one scene explains the entire shift in Toby's character. It is the scene with the breaking bridge. So Toby backs off of the dam and comes to the old wooden bridge which he crossed previously. On the other side of the bridge, he sees Percy, who tells him very clearly that if he does not cross that bridge in time, it is going to be over for Toby. And so Toby, being his rational self, of course, starts crossing the bridge. And yet, the dam cracks while he's on it. And here when I was little, I always thought that this was just bad model work and camera work. I was constantly thinking, why did Toby go into the middle of the bridge and stop, waiting for the water to rise and the bridge to fall? Why would he do that? Is he stupid? I thought that this episode was very uncharacteristic of Toby and actually hated it back when I was younger. But then I realized, this is not a camera error. This was the intention all along. And I yet again want you to picture yourself standing on that bridge, seeing the dam collapse right upstream, and going, damn, I should run. I can bet you that half of you would freeze in that exact moment. And that's what happened to Toby. He saw the dam collapse and he froze. The fright was too much for the old engine. It was more than he had ever seen. And so his nervous system collapsed. Now you may be saying to yourself, how could an old engine's nervous system collapse in a situation like how is that possible? Toby has always been a wise old engine and his nervous system has never collapsed. His line was closed down, Henrietta was threatened to be turned into a henhouse. But yet, that was not as dire, not as direct, and not as out of flippin' nowhere as the dam collapsing right in front of Toby's eyes. Toby froze. I can guarantee you that he would like to move, but he just couldn't. And Percy just stood in front of him and watched as the bridge broke apart and Toby started getting flooded downstream. There is also one other thing I would like you to pay attention to. You may have seen me reuse the same clip 4 times over again. That is because this entire scene, from start to finish, is 2 minutes and 33 seconds long. Just 2.5 minutes. Yet I would like you to pay attention. Who speaks during this time?
It's our only chance, said his driver. If the dam breaks, we'll be done for. Toby was halfway across the bridge when disaster struck. Called Toby. We'll follow him on our line. It meets the river further down. As Toby floated helplessly on the floodwaters, they passed a sign that made them shudder. Beware the waterfall. If we go over that waterfall, we're doomed. Then they saw Harold, who swooped low and shouted urgently to them.
If we listen to the US dub in particular, Alec Baldwin, I think here, does something that he unintentionally made absolutely perfect in his dubbing. Who speaks? In the entire scene, we only hear one word from Toby. Him crying out the word help. And yet Alec Baldwin says that word not in Toby's voice, but he does a voice impression that he has been previously using for Toby's driver. Not for Toby. Play the clip.
Help! Called Toby. waterfall. If we go over that waterfall, we're doomed.
And now you can see that Toby really is frozen with fright. He did not speak a word. All the words were either the narrator, or Percy, or his driver, never Toby himself. And we can also see his worried expression change into the frightening expression. And he does not speak a word. He does not move. He does not shake. He is completely stuck. He sees the sign, "Beware the waterfall." It does nothing. And here we see another part of the story. Percy. Percy is a young engine who has been scared so much in his life. He has survived an avalanche one episode back. Percy is kind of used to being frightened. Unlike Toby, Toby hasn't been seriously frightened for so long in his life that he forgot how to control himself when fright does come around. And Percy is the opposite. Percy is a young man. Percy is a young bloke. He's gonna get frightened every other day. He knows how to deal with it now. He keeps his head calm and immediately goes on to help his bro at the river. Percy doesn't freeze. He is the one that is completely rational in this story, and it's also completely in character. Percy was always portrayed as a young engine, and here we see that young hot blood never freezing. Toby froze. Percy did not. Same with Harold. Harold is portrayed as a new invention, a dude who always has something to prove, and a dude that is a rescue dude. Harold is constantly flying, constantly scared in storms, in bad weather, in avalanches, in floods. Harold is used to getting frightened. He knows how to deal with it. His nervous system is not going to collapse just like that. And that is why Percy and Harold beautifully coordinate. Harold immediately knows what to do. Drop the rope, give it to Percy. Percy knows how to stay on the rails, grip to them, and pull Toby aside. And throughout this entire scene, again, Toby does not speak a word. And in the end of the episode, when Toby finally does speak a word, it is,
"Toby, thanks to Harold."
Yeah, he thanks Harold. He doesn't even tell to Percy that he was brave, really. He thanks Harold, and basically thanks Percy as well, because they were both in the operation together.
But there is another subtle detail that escapes a lot of people's minds in this single scene. In the beginning of it, Toby has his regular smiling expression, yet when Percy asks him further about being brave, Toby stops smiling.
If this was the old Toby, he would be smiling here. Yo, my man's frightened. That's not a blushing face. That is pure fright. He is still traumatized. And trauma is not something that gets created immediately, like the second after you survive a disaster you get traumatized. Just like that. It takes some time for you to actually realize what the actual fuck happened. And we can see that in the season later on.
But believe it or not, in Season 5 there actually is another episode that deals with Toby's fright and now Toby's trauma. It's Toby's discovery.
And here Toby gets left at an old abandoned mine, and people have again been pointing out how inconsistent his character is. Why is Toby scared? Why is he frightened? And well, I have found the solution. Toby is not frightened of a ghost. Toby is frightened of his inabilities. When he stood on that bridge and had everything he could, he had the steam, he had the coal, he had drivers, the bridge was still there, he had plenty of time as the camera showed us, he did not move. He failed. And Toby gets scared of his own failure. He gets scared of how he realized he isn't able to do anything against the big nature. It was Harold and Percy that saved him. Toby admits it in the episode. It was not his own will that saved him. And that is why Toby is scared in Toby's discovery as well.
I could see some people pointing out, why is Toby scared of ghosts? Well, the better question would be, why does Toby believe in ghosts? Well, I actually think that Toby always believed in ghosts. As you get older, you realize that, well, not everything in this world is just connected to this world. People who are Christian, Muslim, Jewish, etc., a lot of religions, and basically all of us have a religion, know that the spirit never dies. And let's be real, if you were in heaven, you were a spirit, wouldn't like your favorite pastime activity be coming down to earth and scaring the ever-living shit out of people that were left behind? Yeah, I think that would be like the best pastime activity ever. And I think Toby realizes that. He knows that ghosts are real, and if this was the old Toby, he would know that they can't harm him. But this is not the old Toby.
Yet Toby is here, in the mine, thinking that he sees a ghost, thinking that he sees a spirit, and he is scared. Why? He knows that it can't harm him. He's scared of his own inability, of how he cannot do anything. His driver is not there. He's there alone. Nobody can help him. He's once again scared of his own failure. And after this, we see Toby go on a bit of a recovery. I think I personally like to headcanon the fact that the Fat Controller saw Toby getting more and more traumatized. That is why he took him on this holiday. And that is also why Toby was called to the Fat Controller's rescue in the episode The Fat Controller's Holiday. Toby was basically there on a vacation, on a recovery leave from his trauma. But yet, the nature that he loved so much could only help him for some time. In the later seasons, we slowly but surely see the trauma getting intenser. Toby getting scared of more routine tasks. In that one-hit episode that I really cannot be bothered to find, he gets stuck on Gordon's Hill with just one coach. He is frightened to do it. He's become so scared of his own inability and his own failure. The one that originated all the way back on that bridge when he saw the dam collapse and did not move a damn wheel. He could have, but he didn't. And now this fright comes back and haunts him over and over every time, making Toby a scaredy, fragile personality.
There's also one other thing that originates from this season 5 episode, and it's very much showed in the later series. How Toby is insecure about his age. Toby really was never insecure about being old, he kind of embraced it before season 5, but when he saw Percy and Harold not freezing in that moment, knowing how to act, not losing temper, not having their nervous system collapse, and he saw his collapsing, that is why he's frightened of his age. Because he knows that he's not as hot-blooded as the young guys, who may have handled that situation 100 times better than he did.
And that is just about it, folks. I am very aware that my theory does have a lot of flaws, of course. I am not an expert on the series or anything, but this is just a nice thing that I saw of what some people have called reverse character development, yet what I call trauma character development. I can definitely see a lot of people disagreeing with me here, and I'm absolutely fine with that. And please let me know how you feel about this theory down in the comments. I have spent quite some time while I was writing my Geography Olympiad work just thinking about this video being made. I actually got the inspiration when I saw a thumbnail for a video by Edward the Exploit. It was a video about the episode that happened right before Toby and the Flood. It was the episode Put Upon Percy, and he called it in the thumbnail the Thomas's Darkest episode and how it broke Percy. Now, I never actually watched the video in order to not get influenced while making this video, but that was the inspiration, so thank you to Edward the Exploit for that.
As always, thank you very much for watching this video, I really enjoyed making it. And please, please, please leave a comment if you have made it this far. Just do me a favor, okay? May you have a nice day, everybody, and may God bless you all.